Betting.
Since
Yeah,
1965
I think
till
it's actually
date, there
till
have been
date.
only two Indians.
One or two. I know one name. I'm not sure, very sure, but Indians are lacking in that.
So, do you think this is a reflection of how far behind we are in popularizing
Definitely.
science?
Not only this population of science, even scientific thinking, scientific research, we are very far away from the what other countries are doing. That is because of we are lacking the scientific temperament. The objective of planetarium was to eradicate superstitions from our daily life, popularize science, and reach people, do lot of outreach programs. That was the motto of the planetarium, and we did it very reluctantly.
Just for our younger audience, any young kid who's growing up, building a scientific temperament with or without help, what would you tell them? Like, what is the difference? What is the stark distinction between science, pseudoscience, and non science?
Now I firmly believe that God is created by man, not God has created man. That is the difference what I believe, and I do also accordingly.
I do not know for sure if God exists
Right.
or not. It's still a big question in my mind if there is something called God or someone called God. But I do know for a fact that this world or this planet does not require God to run it.
Fine. Science also agree that. Astrology is there is a report in New York Times. Astrology is $1 billion fraud.
Really?
Yeah.
Astronomy.
Astrology, not astrology.
Astrology, okay.
Astrology is $1 billion fraud. Astrology is not a science at all.
Right.
And that we have done. We have written lot of things. There, not me. A lot of people have done that. Now we have gone to moon. People had gone there. So then, if you say that moon has effects on us,
So the people going to moon, what they might have
they might have had
had a
effects,
significant
right.
effect, yes.
But still, Odisha is quite ahead because we are the state having highest number of planetariums in India. From that one decision now era, and we are there are 2-3 planetariums are coming up, and there are very good quality planetariums, not that normally ordinary. Those are at par with the Bhubaneswar planetarium. So definitely we are in the right direction. Now this Astro Talk, there is a app which is about now 500 crores business. So that is they are using the AI, all latest technology to spread nonsense.
So they're
So
using scientific applications to
science
spread
nonsense. That is the pity of
nonsense.
our country, and nobody can stop it. Nobody bothers about it because people are believing that.
On this episode of TV with Taniya, we have Dr. Subhendu Pattnaik, former Deputy Director and former Director of Planetarium. Namaskar, sir. Welcome to this show.
Yeah.
Sir, I would like to understand, like to begin this show with a very basic question, like, how did you come to become a part of Planetarium?
See, I started my schooling from a English medium school, that is a DM school, which was one of the topmost school of the country that time. There are only 4 DM schools, and I did my plus 2 there. Then I joined electrical engineering. I studied engineering, but I had some family background where there is a scientist who was there, there's a doctor, there is an engineer, and they influenced me a lot.
Okay.
And during 87, when I just completed my graduation, that time there was a all India level Bharat Jan Vigyan Jatha. That was a huge program conducted by in every state, and there are some groups which join hands to move a Jatha. There is a program for maybe 2 months. Every night there will be a place where we'll have some shows on science, how to popularize science, and that time it was a very good success also. So that inspired me. I had a knack of writing science, doing science experiments, and fortunately, I got a job, and that was my first job I got in planetarium. I did something privately for maybe 3 months. Then, since I liked population of science from my childhood, and I have a background in that in my family also, so I joined planetarium in 1988, and that was my first journey. And whenever whoever asked me what you are doing, I said I am working it in planetarium. I never say I am serving or I have joined planetarium, because serving and working are two different things. So whatever you do with your passion, it is a work. So we work hard. We did a lot of things in planetarium, and that time planetarium was starting. Means equipments were installed in front of us. That equipments were from Japan, and it took almost 1 month. There are Japanese team was there, so that was a wonderful experience. And there are a lot of things to be learned from Japanese also, Japanese engineers. They are great actually. They have worked they start their work dot at 8 a.m. and will finish at 8 p.m. Only 1 hour lunch. So there are a lot of things we learned from them. And because of my passion, I grew, and the institute also grew.
So we could say that you watched planetarium grow in front of your own very eyes.
Sure, definitely, because I worked there for almost 35 years. So when we joined, only raw building was there, even it was not completed.
Mm-hmm.
Then in 1 year it was built. Then equipments were installed. Equipments that time those were optical equipments,
Mm-hmm.
very large equipments, and a very good company, Goto company, gave those equipments.
Mm-hmm.
And those equipments that time were updated, new equipments, you can say.
Mm-hmm.
And that was based in India also that time in 1990. So the planetarium got inaugurated in 8 January 1990. So from there we started our journey. Initially we had only two shows, two number of shows, but when I left, we are having on the average about 10 shows every day. So
Wow.
it increased that way. And visitors was about 1.5 lakhs during this time. And in between, in 2012, we upgraded our equipment. That was digital equipment, and that time also that was the best in India. So this there are a lot of activities.
Mm-hmm.
People think that planetarium is just like
Museum.
a museum or a cinema hall. You go
Right.
there and see a show for about 20, 30 minutes, then come back. But the aim and objective of planetarium is totally different.
Right.
Very few people understand that. Even some government people didn't understand that. The objective of planetarium was to eradicate superstitions from our daily life, popularize science, and reach people, do lot of outreach programs. That was the motto of the planetarium, and we did it very reluctantly. We are a very good dedicated team was there, and our authorities also gave us freedom to do that. We moved throughout the Odisha also, conducting the various programs. We do light very uh, rare events, celestial events. We make arrangements so that people can see it through themselves, and that was a very joyful experience, I can say that.
So, like you mentioned, sir, that you've grown up under the shadow of science. There were so many people in your family who came from the same background, and that helped you develop this kind of a temperament. But back in the 80s, when you were growing up, a strapping young man who was out there in the world trying to make a career for himself, a lot of people in your shoes would have taken a conventional job, would have taken a conventional flow of science. You, on the other hand, chose to become a part of, popularizing science, science outreach. So you grew under the shadow of science, but you chose a completely different section of science. You believed in popularizing science more. And what motivated that in you?
See, initially, if I go back to my school days, we are never forced to study. That was the difference of
Between this day and
this
that.
day and that day. And I also follow that. I never forced my children to do study hard.
Mhm.
Whatever they like, they study. So that was the main difference. And being in a family where there are a lot of educated people and rational people, I would say, they think rationally. So questioning was encouraged that time. We asked lot of questions, and we are interested to see new things. Even my one of my uncle who was a scientist, and he was doing lot of things by his own hand, and we joined him every time he do it. Like we are building a boat which was actually driven by a motor and running in a pond. So those kind of things we are doing from maybe class 7th 8th. And in our school there are also various crafts were there, and
Mm.
even I was interested in electronics. We built a radio set. That time it was very popular. There kits were available, and we soldered and made a radio and listened to it. So those are kind of things that encourage for doing things by hand.
Mm-hmm.
So doing things give you a lot of experience, confidence, and understanding the thing.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the main thing which attracted me towards this thing. And I say always that I joined planetarium by choice, not by chance. I had other got
Options.
other options also, but I prefer that. And maybe I prefer there are other regions also there. I wanted to stay in Bhubaneswar because I was born and brought up in Bhubaneswar. And during initial time, maybe for first 4 to 5 years, it was a learning experience for us. Only how to run the planetarium, how to make new programs. That time making a program was very difficult because there are optical systems only, and a computer even that was running without a hard disk. Nobody can imagine that. If somebody knows about computer, it was running in a 5 quarter-inch floppy only.
Yes,
At that
yes.
time, the computer was doing all those things in the planetarium. So managing those was very difficult. So we spent 4 to 5 years in that line, and I'm very proud to say that actually uh, I was the technically very strong, so that we never entered to any maintenance contract with the Goto people. They were actually blackmailing other planetariums. Like there are about 15 planetariums which are built by Goto company, and that time they were charging about 3 lakhs per year for maintenance work.
Back in the 80s.
In the 80s, it was from 95 onwards,
Wow,
94,
but
95.
that was a large sum for
Large
nine.
amount,
Yeah.
and all the planters are paying, and we paid it only for 1 year, that to our plantum, but for next 20 years we manage it ourselves. That was a great job
Achievement.
our team did it, and that was most satisfying. You calculate, means 20 lakhs or 2 lakhs for 20 years.
20 years.
40 lakhs we saved, and the cost of equipment was around that only. So that gave us a lot of satisfaction technically, and slowly we tried to manage the planetarium in such a way that we kept a target for ourselves. Like we should cross the number of visitors every year of that previous year. Suppose the January 2000 was 50,000 visitors, then we should at least one visitor higher. And one deputy director was there at time, is Mr. Jain Das. He set this target, and that we followed for maybe 30 years. So that way
And it worked?
and it worked. And sometimes it so happened, our deputy director will put 5 or 10 tickets short by putting from his pocket. So we had that trend, so that we reach around 1.6 lakhs every year. So that was a very good experience, I would say, that way we proceeded in the planetarium.
Right, sir. You served quite some time as the deputy director of planetarium, and then you also served some time as the director of planetarium before you retired.
Yeah.
But when you started off,
Mhm.
when you started being a part of this outreach program
Mhm.
under planetarium, what were the 5, or let's say top 3 challenges that you thought were blocking the outreach program in the state?
See, after 87, that we talked about the Bharat Janmigyan Jatra, it continued for its after effect maybe 3, 4, 5 years. And then everything died down, even throughout the country, not in Odisha. There are few groups who were working throughout the state, but gradually they died up. And even government of India had established one organization, Bharat Bigyan Prasar Samiti. NCSTC, National Council for Science and Technology. That also closed down after some years, because that aim was there to build a lot of science clubs across the school of country. They did it. They worked it for some years, but then it stopped. So nothing is now being done outside the school curriculum
Correct.
right now. And that time that was also the challenge. So we tried to pursue the government, but government always depend upon the who is at the top. So it changes from time to time. We had some good experiences, lot of grants coming in. Like I remember maybe that was the year 92 or some, no, sorry, 2002. Government gave a grant. So that year suddenly the visitors rose. So going across conducting program was the motto of our planetarium, but that was restricted for some budgetary reasons.
There are many variables,
Political, and there are a lot of things. But still, I had traveled all over the state, conducted at least in all district headquarters, and particularly in 2004, we had conducted a program that is Saman Chandrasekhar's Bar Centenary. It was 150th Bar Centenary. That time we built a lot of astronomical instruments, conducted 1 to 2 day seminars in all the 30 districts of our state, 2 schools, that is 2 days. So these kind of things was going on for throughout the years. It's not only having the source, but we conducted all programs, like we go to school, we do a lot of, and one thing we did is after maybe 2010, when these medias are coming up, regularly we are having interviews, very programs, so that people are educated.
People know about what we're trying to do.
And population of science and developing scientific temperament was our main motto. Although our state is very rich in scientific thinking, but people are very superstitious, and particularly I tell that the educated peoples are more superstitious than the non-villagers also. So we try to eliminate those things from our state.
I have been living in Bhubaneswar for 7-8 years now,
Right.
and this is one thing that I have seen, that unfortunately Bhubaneswar is deeply lacking when it comes to citizen science.
Right.
People are not fully aware of what citizen science is, what citizen science entails, how we become more cognitive about the environment we live in. And like you rightfully mentioned, sir, that yes, we have a very rich cultural heritage and history, which has had a direct link with astronomy to a very great extent. But somehow that has also become a roadblock going forward, because people now only associate the knowledge of astronomy with superstition.
Right.
So during your tenure, while you served as as a member of the team working in planetarium, what were the most effective methods by which you could come over these kind of challenges?
Okay, you said science citizenship. Citizen science. Actually, the thing is that yeah, it's in India, on also in our state, people don't know what is science is. They think science is a big, very laboratory, big scientist, and lot of
Technical
equipment,
studies,
technical
yeah.
study. But science is only small process, I would say. It's asking a question. Whenever a question comes, then we'll go for seeking its answer, and that there is a method. Not by anything, that by method, that you have to do some experiment, prove it, and that experiment, if it success, it becomes a law or a theory, and it becomes science. So that is only a part of science. Whatever we are seeing or enjoying, those are only technology. It's a gift of science, we can say. By using the principles, we are making those things. So people are not understanding the basic difference between science and technology, actually.
Right.
So scientific temper is a most requirement thing to develop for developing a country. And you will be astonished to know that there is a Kalinga award instituted in 1965, which was given by UNESCO. That was given, the money is given by our state government, and it is now being awarded by UNESCO to a top scientist. That is maybe about $50,000 or something. It's a very good amount.
That's quite a good amount.
Good amount, and that is given to the scientist engaged in popularization of science. Okay, that was being given in Odisha from 1965. Before
I'm not sure if a lot of people know about this.
Yeah, many people know, and only 1 or 2 Indian had got that. One of them is Jayant Vishnu Narlikar, who was a very good astronomer from Pune, and others are outside India. People are
So
getting.
since 1965,
Yeah, I think
till
it's
date,
till
there have
date,
been only 2 Indians.
1 or 2. I know one name. I'm not very sure, but Indians are lacking in that.
So do you think this is a reflection of how far behind we are in
It's
popularizing
definitely
science?
not only this population of science, even scientific thinking, scientific research, we are very far away from the what other countries are doing. That is because of we are lacking the scientific temperament. Whenever a child is born, it's filled with all superstitions from the very childhood. Even a teacher who is teaching that sun is at the center, earth is moving around, whenever he goes back to his house, he will say, no, my moon is affecting me, sun is affecting me, and planets are affecting us.
Yeah,
So that is the,
I think I agree with you here. So science is limited to textbook knowledge.
yes.
We are not applying it in our lives
No,
anymore.
even if we are reading,
Mhm.
even if we are knowing everything, but still we are in a such a mental state that we are believing whatever being told by our elders. That is the lacuna of our country now, and it has been growing more and more this time. And unfortunately, people who are spreading non-science, I would say those are the pseudoscience or non-sciences, through using scientific methods, scientific equipments. Whenever you open a app, you will get your zodiac sign, you will get your the thing using a telephone,
Uh-huh.
use a mobile phone.
Mhm.
So this is the what now challenge is there, and that was there from since I joined also.
Mhm.
From what you asked me, that from that time we started organizing all the celestial events in planetarium for people. So we have telescopes. We organize regularly every month 5 days telescope program. In the evening, people come and see the planets, craters of the moon, rings of the Saturn. Those are very exciting moments. Students particularly come and enjoy those things. And then we started going to other places like interior villages for outreach programs. We had a team, and we joined with hands with other organizations. Like there is another organization called Saman Chandrasekhar Amateur Astronomer Association. So that they have members from starting from school student to physics professors, whoever is interested in astronomy, they
But
are the members.
amateurly.
That, and they have also a lot of telescopes. So with them we go to schools, do a lot of programs. So that slowly develop a curiosity among the students, and people started to believing that no, this astronomy and astrology are quite different. Astronomy is a pure science, astrology is a pseudoscience, we can say. So that way we have succeeded a lot of like there was a solar eclipse in 1995.
Okay.
So in Bhubaneswar, all the places were closed down. It's like
I think
nobody.
it still happens in Bhubaneswar.
But now we get thousands of people at the planetarium during any eclipse, particularly solar
Oh,
or
they
lunar
come
eclipse.
just to see the eclipse.
They come to see, and we make arrangements through telescope, through other equipments, so that and all the medias start now making live telecast from our planetarium also.
Wow.
So that is what has changed in last 10-15 years, and people are accepting things that what we have been told has not based in scientific thinking or scientific. They don't have any scientific proofs also. That
Sir, you very beautifully put across your thoughts. Like, there is a difference between science, pseudoscience, and non science. Just for our younger audience, any young kid who's growing up, building a scientific temperament with or without help, what would you tell them? Like, what is the difference? What is the stark distinction between science, pseudoscience, and non science?
See, giving a definition of science is a very difficult thing. I can just, if you open a dictionary, it will say systematic study of nature is called science.
Science.
That's the
Correct.
simplest
Definition.
definition.
Huh.
But there is a word called systematic. Only study is not
Not the keyword, correct.
So you have to make it systematic. So science is a process by which we study our nature systematically, and then if that is proved by some supported by some theories or experiment or calculations, then it is reproduced at other places. So whatever science takes as a theory or law, it should be reproducible. It will be same for you, for me, or anybody on the world.
It's not biased to an
It's
individual.
not biased, and it can be reproduced.
Correct.
So we say light goes in a straight line.
Right.
So that can
Is
be
true here?
or everywhere. And again, science has a very good analogy, which we can say that questioning the answers. Whatever science has done, that can be questioned, but that cannot be done in a nonsense thing. Which I just distinguish, one is science and one is other is non-science, I will say. So it cannot be challenged. Suppose somebody says that I should not tell, the God is done this, but
Hmm.
nobody can challenge this.
Nobody will ever challenge it.
No one can challenge this. So, but like initially we said, light travels in a straight line.
But then the
Somebody,
question is,
the
why is it
question
traveling?
question came, then it was said that it is going through photons.
Hmm.
That was accepted for many years. Then somebody challenged it. Then it was proved that it is going in waves.
Hmm.
So light is now having dual
Nature.
nature. So these kind of things goes on. Einstein, first Newton say about gravity, Einstein changed it. Even Einstein's theory was also challenged and changed. The scientist of his stature. So science is a flow
Hmm.
which keeps on changing and upgrading itself.
Hmm.
But nonsense is like a cold storage,
Linear truth. I
and
mean.
that remains for there.
Hmm.
So that starts with a curiosity, with a question, then it is an experiment, then it is theorized, then again it is proved, new problems comes, and the process goes on, never stops or never ends there. And nothing is eternally truth in the science.
Correct.
It
It
keeps
changes every few years.
yeah, changes, upgrades itself, and
Hmm.
it takes out the what can be proved.
Hmm.
But not on the other side, nonsense. Nothing is required to be proved. What is said, it is proved.
Either you can believe it or you can
You
leave
can,
it. Right.
but people believe it.
But
So that is
it is easier
it's
choice.
it's
It is.
easier choice, and that is what human psychology is actually. I
Hmm.
will say, because we are so acquainted to many things, we accept those things without questions or without thinking logically.
Right. Right.
So then that is why this nonsense are going on nowadays, and whenever it gets a patronage from a leader,
Hmm.
then it can go anywhere.
So, how do you inculcate all of these beliefs or all of your principles in your daily life, especially now that you are a family person and you're also a dad, but at the same time, you also have some belongingness towards science?
See, changing everything overnight is very difficult. That what I believe and what I say, because what our belief system is there for thousands of years. In our house, puja was being done. That was doing with Ajri rituals.
Mm.
But being a member of a family where scientists are there, we have skipped many of things. We never do all these things ritually, just and I go to temple. I was going regularly when I was childhood, but gradually I don't found that to be useful. So, but I go to temple. Somebody come from outside, say he will invite me, come to Puri. Then I go there.
Mhm.
Okay, I don't believe that it will be a separate thing, whether I believe or God or not.
But I
But
really wanted to always ask this
yeah,
question.
uh, and as I grew up,
Hmm.
I started disbelieving God. I started questioning God.
Hmm.
That is what if I don't believe in God? There nothing is happening. But some of my family members believe in God. We had discussions, but we have accepted. We have a line in between, so that they will do their thing, I will do my thing.
Without
And
interrupting.
for your information, I never believed in this. Astrology and everything. My daughter's marriage was done on a particular auspicious day, non-auspicious day. That was that time. It was I gave an interview in also TV. That time there was a lunar eclipse, and the date was after one day. So nobody says that in during this eclipse week nothing
Good
special.
should happen,
And
right?
we choose a date that was 11/11/2022. So that date was suitable to both of us, and that side and we never saw that, and that was not any tithi as per the.
Hmm.
So we do all those things without any. We never believe in those things. Do in our daily regular family life. And now I am becoming more and more what you say atheistic, non-believer of the God. So I question which God you want to
Want
go
to
into.
worship.
No, which God you want to believe? There are at least 4,000 religions in India world,
Hmm.
and in our Hindu religion there are 33 crores gods.
Hmm.
So those are now I firmly believe that God is created by man, not God has created man. That is the difference what I believe, and I do also accordingly.
This is a very famous debate, there's a very popular
Right,
debate that
right.
always comes up that as man starts moving towards science, it's more and more that they start moving away from God and beliefs and everything else that keep them rooted. Do you also believe the same, that because you started moving towards science, you started going away from God somehow?
Not exactly that I would say. It depends upon person to person. There are a lot of doctors, engineers I know. They are a firm believer of God.
God.
So that don't means being a scientist doesn't mean that it
You
should not
don't have to stop
stop
believing in
the
God.
believing in God. So that depends upon the mindset and what you are actually rationally thinking or not. So there are also scientists. The people are arguing about God. They said that such and such scientist had said that God exists. So you should believe this. So if you think rationally, then you will definitely say that God is not there. You have to think rationally and ask some questions, basic questions. If God created everything, then everything is being done by the God. So why should we worry? Why God has done this so many disparities?
I have a very politically neutral stand on this. So,
Okay.
if the same question is addressed to me, I would rather say I do not know for sure if God exists
Right.
or not. It's still a big question in my mind if there is something called God or someone called God. But I do know for a fact that this world or this planet does not require God to run it.
Fine. Science also agree that.
So everything else makes sense. We have physical and tangible evidences how our planets move, why they move, what's keeping us, in the trajectory, why we orbit,
Right.
and all of that, and why we keep evolving, why our thoughts keep evolving with us. So yeah, maybe there is a God, but we definitely don't need him. So
Yeah.
not to run this planet at least. But on a very lower scale, in a day-to-day life, if a person feels like, if believing in God can help them survive a day, it's not my place to judge them. So
Okay. I agree with you.
that's how it is. But especially in Odisha, where we have such a high number of tribal communities, and like we mentioned at the beginning of this conversation, that astrology somehow has always found its place in superstition. How do you actually reach out to them, to the inner spaces of their minds, and how do you make them start looking at the other side?
See, I am trying my best, but there are a lot of people also who are explaining the scientific things.
Correct.
The astrology is there is a report in New York Times. Astrology is a $1 billion fraud.
Really?
Yeah.
Astronomy.
Astrology, not astronomy.
Astrology, okay.
Astrology is a $1 billion fraud. Astrology is not a science at all.
Right.
And that we have done. We have written a lot of things. There, not me. A lot of people have done that. Now we have gone to moon. People had gone there. So then, if you say that moon has effects on us,
So the people going to moon, what they might have
they might have had
had a
effects. Yes,
significant
right.
effect, yes.
So that has been proved. And moon has effect on us. That is also people said how we could say moon has only one effect on us. That is a force of attraction, and that is negligible. If you take a newspaper, tear it to 10,000 times, the smallest piece you would keep on your hand, that force what it exerts on your hand
Is
is the
the
same
amount of
as
force
the
of attraction.
amount of attraction.
Like
So
one,
and another thing, and that is equal for each and everyone, not for this rashi is different, this that rashi is different. So it is totally equivalent to other. And we say I'm doing a lot of things. That's why I'm saying you take there is every day there is a Rasifal is coming.
correct,
Zodiac,
in the
okay,
newspapers, yes.
newspaper. So do you know that how Rasi is given to you? What is your Rasi? Zodiac sign?
It's Gemini.
Gemini. Okay, mine is also Gemini. Okay, so how it is given? It is as per our Indian astrologers. At the time of your birth, there is a constellation called Gemini. That is a group of stars where moon was there. Okay, so moon stays 2.5 days. That means about 60 hours in one constellation.
Correct.
Okay, so in that during that 60 hours, whoever
Is born in
born
that
in that
particular
it
moment.
will have a Gemini. Okay,
Okay.
so the Rasipal should be equal for all those peoples. That means 1/12 of the world population has the same fate as
Same.
you and me and things.
Everybody else, correct.
Is it happening? No. Then it'll come to when it is next rebirth and all those things will come, but those have nothing to do. And planets have also no effects. That can be scientifically proved also. Planets do not have any effects on us. So astrology is a fraud, is correct. People are afraid of their fate. That is why it is blossoming, going up.
They
And
kind of find some shelter in it, yes.
yeah, if you go to a astrologer and ask, can I get a job? Then he will ask, that's it. So people are going for that. Instead of going to astrologer for a job, you could go to a bigger company or something, somewhere else to
Right.
get a job.
Right. That was beautifully explained, sir, especially the Gemini. Now I know why so many people have the same
Yeah.
zodiac signs, but all of them do not have the same
Right.
fate or the same trajectory of
Yeah,
life.
in the plane accident, 300 people died.
Hmm.
So all they are not of the same.
The same Rashi, correct.
And there are a lot of examples, and that can be proved also.
Right. What was your most special moment when you started off in planetarium, or that pivot moment, I would say, that put you in this path forever? Like, this is what you want to do for the rest of your life.
See, throughout my career, I started building my ambition like a population of science. So that is what I am continuing now. I am having one YouTube channel and all those things, writing every alternate month, for different papers and all those things. Everything, I would say, uh, it gave a lot of kick during 2016, 15, 16. And there's a minister, I will not name him, I can find it also. I said the year. So that time, we gave some proposals for population of science. And that it was a turning year, I would say. On that year, Government of Odisha Science and Technology Department decided to build science centers in all districts of the state. 30 science centers and about 8 planetariums. So now there are there was only one planetarium from 1990. Second planetarium came up in Burla in 2017. But now around 6 planetariums working and 2 are in pipeline. And about 15 science centers have been built in 15 districts. So that was
So
what I would say.
50% coverage has been done.
Yeah, and their plan for next will be coming another 1 or 2 years, science center.
The
So
second
all
phase
the
for the next 15
next 15.
districts.
So that was a very good decision taken by maybe some people who can at the higher yeah. So such kind of people are required for the
At a policy making
making
level.
level, so that we can, and not only that, but now and unfortunately I would say those are not running very well. They are only built, but that
they're
is
not maintained.
being run by the contractual employees.
They will not
So
have that
so
ownership.
that is what getting down, degrading the quality of the activities. So government should build and see that it runs properly. That is what but still Orissa is quite ahead, because we are the state having highest number of planetariums in India. From that one decision now era, and we are there are 2-3 planetariums are coming up, and there are very good quality planetariums, not that normally ordinary. Those are at par with the Bhubaneswar planetarium. So definitely we are in the right direction, but if we government can allocate a little more money in this regard, definitely towards science and population of science, and to eradicate superstition, that is highly essential.
So since 80, from 80s till date,
Right.
you've gone through so many different phases of your life while working in planetarium. And now we are in the age of AI. So statistically speaking, logically speaking, anyone would think that the invent or the upcoming or the pricing of AI would actually create a positive impact on social, or sorry, science popularization. But is that really happening? Is that happening to your knowledge, that AI or the social media platforms, are they very busy popularizing science or the non-science?
See, that is what I had made one video on that. Actually, so if you go, I am talking about the social media channels or platforms in Odisha. If there are 95 channels are giving non-science, only 4 to 5 channels, small channels, are talking about real science. So social media is the most culprit, I would say, for spreading non-science in the India. Now using AI, even there is one good scientist that I come across that video. that scientist voice and face had been defect to say some nonsense. So that is what people are doing now,
To the extent.
to that extent. And that you will get that now this Astro Talk, there is a app which is about now 500 crores business.
Mm-hmm.
So that is, they are using the AI, all latest technology to spread nonsense.
So they're
So
using scientific applications to
science
spread
nonsense. That is the pity of
nonsense.
our country, and nobody can stop it. Nobody bothers about it, because people are believing that. And if you are like throughout the ages, non-science or religious has moved ahead, basing on using the scientific equipments, everything. Like suppose you think of a radio or television. Whenever radio was invented by Marconi, the first broadcast was on Bible. Okay, so that way, and from that it started going. And if you talk about the Indian context, it's Ramayana, Mahabharata, and all those things. When TV came, so you can see how people were engaged in that, and the science gave them a path or gave them an instrument to spreading nonsense.
So why is science outreach programs not using the same path of social media to popularize science more?
See, scientists are limited, I would say, and scientists don't want to say about themselves or reach people. They are engaged in their own work, and
They're very
people,
eccentric, huh, right?
you can say, they don't find time for all those things. But few scientists are there,
Hmm.
and if you talk about nonsense peoples,
Hmm.
they make money out of it. That is the main difference. If you go to astrology or Vastu Shastra or anything,
There is
they will
money in it.
charge. There is money involved,
Hmm. But
and
in
they
popularizing science, there is no
no
money
money
involved.
is involved, but
Actually, you
rather
spend money to do
money
it.
for doing that. So nobody comes at, even if people no money is we are getting, but people are still doing it. And that, not only that, you'll be astonished to know that recently 3 people have been killed in Maharashtra for opposing this nonsense. And one of the name is Davolkar. You must have heard about him, who is a very famous scientist who was opposing all the superstition and but those have been he has been killed in broad daylight by this fundamental people, Rudibari people, I would say. So that also there is a problem in that.
Right.
So this thing has to be changed, and that has to be done by the government only. It should be taken by the government, but unfortunately, government is doing the just opposite thing. The scientific temper, as you say, we in our article we have a fundamental duty of every citizen, that is 51 AH, to spread scientific temper, equality among the people. But
Correct.
nobody do that
I'm
or
not
talks
sure if
about it.
people knew about 51
Yeah,
age.
51 age. That is a fundamental duty of every citizen of India, to spread the scientific temper, eradicate superstition, and spread equality. So no,
This has been one of the most beautiful conversations I've had in a long time.
so,
How science can be politicized, how science is all about
right,
questioning the answers, and how science is about keep moving forward, being in a fluid state,
right,
not being conserved to a particular state. And yes, now we also talk about the constitutional duty. We always choose to talk about constitutional rights.
right,
Somehow we always forget to talk about the duties
right.
enlisted in the constitution. But thank you so much for bringing it up, sir. I would really wrap up this session with just one last question to you, sir. During your time when you worked with Planetarium, what is that one thing that you wish you could go back in time and change, do it better, and maybe the present that we are living in now would have been different?
There are a lot of things I had a plan, but maybe that I have changed, that I had a little bit. Uh, I think I have done what I have thought of, what I planned, but not to, maybe I could not get it 100%, but still I managed to do everything 80% right. so that you are getting results like you are having number of planetariums, all those things. Still, I would have loved to reach 2 lakhs people per year.
Per year.
That is what that could have been done if government would have given little support on that. We asked for some OT for some class 4 student, that was denied. So they stopped working after office hours.
Mhm.
So that would have given us a platform to reach 2 lakhs people every year. Now it is about 1.6 lakhs every year. That may be one of my regret, I would say it.
But thank you so much for your
Sure.
time, sir. Thank you so much.
Uh,
It was a candid conversation about planetarium. I mean, it is so beautiful to live in Bhubaneswar and have all these different kind of things. We have temples from 4th and 3rd century BC, and to its stark contrast, we also have the Regional Museum of Natural History and
Right.
planetarium side by side. So we live in a very contrasting city. So,
Right.
and I think that is the beauty of Bhubaneswar.
Sure.
So thank you so much for your time, sir. This was a
Oh,
lovely conversation. Thank you so much.
thank you.